it. Mhm.
Ooh. There we go. I think we're ready. So welcome everybody. We're going to go through a little PowerPoint slide, which I just plagiarized from what Christy does, just so you know. Okay, so we have the 2021 Adult 18 and Over Red District Championships. I'm kind of hoping I can get this thing to do what I want it to do. Yeah, well, that worked for something anyway. Okay, so the championship calendar that we're looking at is this coming weekend is 8, 7, and 8, 8. We're only playing Saturday and Sunday because we have a small championship. And then the sectionals will be starting on, are we doing Saturday and Sunday, or are we doing Friday also for the sectionals? That's a question for Christy.
We probably are going to need Friday.
Okay.
Yes.
So that will be 8:20 to 8:22. And then the next thing we have is the national championship schedule. And you can see all of the 18 and overs are all in gray. And we've got the dates and the locations, the facility, and over to the side is the airport. That's also up on the championship website, isn't it, Christy?
Yeah, both of the calendars are on the championship website.
Okay, and I have emailed out a link to that. If anybody needs it again, just send me an email and I will send it to you again. Okay, so we're only using 2 clubs this weekend. One of them is Forecourt Racket and Fitness. And for those of you who haven't been to Rhode Island in a while, Forecourt no longer has carpet. It's a synthetic court. And Rally Point, which is Rebound Ace. So those are the 2 clubs that we're using. COVID restrictions in Rhode Island are very much the same as all the other New England states. And that is unvaccinated players and spectators must wear masks. Vaccinated people do not have to do that at this point in Rhode Island, so we do not have to worry about it if you are already vaccinated. Registration, it says, please pay as soon as possible, and I am proud to say that everybody has paid, so you don't have to worry about that. Regulations, no default championships. There has been no one requesting a waiver going into the championship. So, and then we do have, if someone winds up having to default during the championship, on the national website, there is some information about what happens if there is a default during the championships. But basically what happens is that you wind up losing that position for the entire championship, including previous matches played and ones going forward. They all become defaults. So you definitely want to make sure that you have players, and if you can have backups, that's a good idea. Lineups are due 30 minutes in advance of play. That helps us because we need to check and validate lineups and make sure we get everything ready before we start calling matches. And we do like to get going early. So we'll see what we can do with that. There are no officials. We use Friend at Court and we use the code during matches. If you're not familiar with that, you can just look up the Friend of Court on the website, and you can read for hours with that. But the code is part of that, and it's not that long, so it's a good thing, and it's a good thing to read. Communications. I've sent you out a lot of emails. They've been short ones. I personally believe that short emails actually get people to read them, and if you go too long, everybody kind of like goes boop, and loses it. Championship web page. that is what I emailed out to everybody. So again, if you need to see that, if you need to get that link again, just let me know and I'll send it out to you again. And if there are any changes for any items, including the COVID protocols, which I do not anticipate at this point, we will let you know. During the championships, you can get communications from the staff, the tournament director, and that's me, or the site directors. We'll call or text. Sometimes we'll talk to you in person. One of the things is if you're in a flight that has just 3 teams, depending on if you play in the first match, whether you win or lose it, it depends on when you play again. So that's something you definitely want to check with your site director. And also if you win your flight, when your semifinals and finals are, those are on the schedule that I sent out, but it's good to double check with us. And then I've also, the league championship regulations are also on the national web, on the New England webpage, which I sent out the link to all of that stuff. It's very comprehensive. So that's, again, if you need it, let me know. Basic regulations. Captains should check in 45 minutes prior to the start of the tournament. Reason for that is we want to give you your lineups for the entire tournament, towels for your players, and that type of thing, and just say hi to you too. And again, we reiterate, provide your lineups 30 minutes prior to the match. All players prior to the first match they play should provide an ID to the desk, and we do that when we call your match. The reason for that is most importantly is to make sure that we have the right people on the court, because I mean, I've worked the past 2 weekends, I've worked the mixed and the 55 and over, and in the site that I'm working, we saved ourselves at least 4 times with the wrong player coming up. So it's important that we do that. After the first match, we'll ask your name, the player's name when they come up, to make sure that they have that we have the right players. Whoops, get back here. Format is a round robin format, and where there is more than one flight, the winners advance to playoffs. The matches are 2 out of 3 regular sets with a 10-point match tiebreaker in the event of splitting sets. We use set tiebreakers, 1st to 7x2 for the first 2 sets if we need that. And I don't know if anybody plays, no ad scoring or anything like that, but we do use ad scoring, so you have to win the games by 2. We switch on odd games, no rest after game 1, but if you want to take a quick drink, we will allow that. 10-minute warm-up includes serves. That's one of the most important things about keeping a tournament on time, is to not go over on warm-ups. And I don't know if any of you know, but if you go to nationals, if you manage to win the sectionals and you go to nationals, you get a 5-minute warm-up at nationals. They're tough. And when the match is over, don't forget to come up and sign your scorecards. It's important. You get a chance to check it. Your players will have given us the scores. We will have them check what we wrote down and then initial it so that we know everything is correct. So when you come up, don't forget to sign your scorecards so that we know we've got it. And then the last one is thanks for coming. So that's the presentation part of it. If anyone has any questions, I know I sent out an email if people send it to it, but if you have a question, is there a way to type in a box, I think? Is there a text box here?
If you're on a computer, the chat is right on the bottom, right smack in the middle. I'm not sure about iPads or phones, but also, I mean, it's a small enough group. I think you guys could pop yourselves off of mute and just chat if you want.
So if anybody has questions, I think a lot of you have been to championships before. What is for synthetic courts? There are different types of courts. It's basically like a hard court, but it's a synthetic material that actually goes down, over. It can be put down over hard courts. It can be put down over carpet. So it's a synthetic court that goes down. It's kind of like sprayed on, and then well, there's a base court that goes, the base that goes on it, that's spread out, and then there's layers that go down. So is there a way to record scores on each court as you play? Yes, there are scorecards on all the courts, and I believe that they all have set in the two clubs. They all have set markers too, so that you can keep track of all of that. You're welcome. Anybody else that has a question? Seems like everybody's
such a quiet bunch. Are you mean to them, Charlie? You tell them not to ask questions?
See, there it is. I'm going to let you answer that one from Jenny. That last one, it says no T-shirt giving away this year.
No, so because of COVID, the budget line for our T-shirts was completely cut. What we did get them to do, however, was get your player gift, your towel for each member of your roster. So that way you'll be going home. It's not just the people that come to the championships, but you'll be able to share with your whole team the player gift.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
I've got a couple of others. Cheryl was asking about the 45-minute. That's before the tournament. After that, it's 30 minutes to submit your lineup before each match. And it says, go ahead.
So 45 minutes before your first match, you show up, and then 30 minutes thereafter.
Yep. And if you are in a flight of 4, you play your 3 matches, you win. Is there more matches the next day? Well, we're not going to make you play 3 matches in one day. If you look at the schedule that I sent out, you will see if there's a playoff involved in your flight. It will say either finals or semifinals. It depends on what group you're in. I believe the 3-5 women do have a final. I'll actually look at that real quick and tell you.
They do.
Bring these up and tell you if any of the other ones do. So the men do not have any playoffs. And the women, 3-0 women is a flight of 5, so there's no playoffs there. 3-5 women do have a finals, and 4-0 women do not. So we only have the one playoff, and that's for the 3-5 women. Jenny thinks the towel is more useful. I do too. Anybody else?
I just saw one come across about whether or not they're timed matches. That they are not timed matches. You play them out. Play until the bitter end.
Oh, good. Okay.
Return the balls back. And one of the things that we do when we give instructions to the players as we send them out for the matches, we tell them to make sure that they come back and sign the scorecard, initial scorecards, and also to bring the ball back. Isn't third set a 10-point tiebreak? Yes, that is correct. everybody on your roster gets a towel. Give it a few more minutes. Let somebody else think of a question. Looks like everybody's pretty set with all of this then. So if everybody is happy and all set to go, we will stop the, oops, go ahead.
Hold on, Cheryl, I was asking a question about if you play at
Oh.
Rally Point, do you check in there? So wherever your first match is scheduled, that is where you check in. Yes, we will have a site director at each location.
Yeah, Rally Point will be Joan Steer, who has been running these things for longer than some people have been alive. At Forecourt, it'll be Ann Sullivan, who has also been running these things for a long time. So we have two very experienced site directors.
Yeah, Diane, if you'll bring the balls back to the table, we keep them in a box. When you, it helps, also helps you remember to come sign your scorecard if you have to bring the balls back.
Right. Chrissy, I have a question. Are we providing, when we have it, are we providing warm-up balls or not?
So what we've been doing is for the first matches, we don't have any,
Right.
but we've been using the returned balls as warm-up balls. They just need to bring them back again also. Yeah.
Okay, yep, okay. So after the first few matches, we will have some warm-up balls.
Yeah.
Okay. I keep thinking we're done, and then one more question comes in. Come
Yeah.
on, somebody can do this. All right, it looks like everyone has asked their questions. If there's a question that you have and we didn't cover it here and you think of it later, go ahead and email me and I will answer your question through an email. We'll take care of it that way. You also have my phone number on the emails. You can call me also. You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so that looks like it's a very short meeting, but we got covered what we needed to, so. All right.
Yeah,
So we
good luck,
will,
everybody, this weekend.
that's it. Good
Yeah,
luck.
everybody have a great time.
Yep. That's imperative. So,
Yeah.
and
Yep.
did everybody hopefully everybody got their hotel rooms. There's those hotels that are in between the two clubs. They're nice hotels. There are places to eat nearby. If you like delis, there is what I think is the greatest deli ever, which is Jay's Deli, which is right on George Washington Highway. And Arby's thinks they have the meats. Jay's Deli does.
To be providing like the best donut shops. Aren't the best donut shops in Rhode Island? There's like 5 of them or something.
The best donut shops? There's like
Yeah.
5. There's at least 50 Dunkin' Donuts in the state.
No, not Dunkin'. I'm talking about like mom and pops
Oh,
homemade
yeah.
donuts.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Italian bakeries and things like that.
Oh, that's the information the players need right there.
That's what's important, right? Yeah. Yeah, there's some nice restaurants right near Forecourt. Is Davenport's a nice restaurant. There's a couple near Bryan College in one of the, right near the hotels, restaurants. So, you'll not a problem finding places to eat. Laura's Bar and Grill is up on the Douglas Pike or Route 7. That's a nice place to eat. So there's plenty of nice places to eat nearby too. So what was that about a code?
Earlier in the meeting, I'll tell you at what point, you said, maybe I misheard. You were talking about, because after you talked about defaults during the championship, and then you were going through the lineup, giving it in 30 minutes before, and I thought you said something about you could look it up, something about a code. So I wasn't sure what that was.
I think the friend of court and the
Friend of
code.
court.
Yeah, what is
Yes.
that again?
The Code of Tennis. It's a guide to unofficiated matches. It's if you look up the friend of court, you can either Google it or look on the USTA website. You can download a PDF of that, and within the friend at court, it's not that many pages, but it's called the Code of Tennis, and the Code of Tennis gives you it's the guide to what you do in an unofficiated match. It's
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. I'm glad I talked about the food. That clued you right in on the code, didn't it?
Yeah, right.
So. Okay.
Charlie, tell me more about those synthetic courts. Are they fast? Are they slow?
No, the carpet used to be fast, but those synthetic courts are slower now. They play like a hard court now, a slower hard court though. So.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so, and just so you know, both clubs have big lobbies. So, there's Forecourt has a downstairs and an upstairs, and Rally Point has a big lobby upstairs. So, plenty of room. Okay, I think we've pretty much covered everything. Like I said, if anybody has a question, you can email me or call me and I will answer it. So, all right, I will stop the recording.